Good morning, my name is Carrie Lounsbury.
And I'm Brad Lounsbury.
And my journey with money is interesting. I grew up believing that all of my money did belong to God and therefore was not my money. And I grew up wanting to honor Him with a portion of my resources. On the other hand, I also grew up with a healthy amount of fear around money and with wondering if I would have enough and all of that. And so instead of dealing with money, I just lived in my fear.
And I grew up with a lot of generosity. My parents were very generous people, and so I took on that kind of generous spirit. But there was also a lot of irresponsibility around money and not planning and not budgeting or necessarily spending the right amount. And so I unfortunately took that on pretty significantly, and through college in my early 20s racked up a significant amount of credit card debt that I ended up bringing into our marriage. And Carrie, as we got married, knew that I had a lot of credit card debt, but I think probably for both of us, because of some of those negatives, didn't take the time to really say, okay, how much is it? And so after we were married, we had that come to Jesus meeting, and it was pretty shocking.
The Lord did redeem that very shocking story for us, and I can honestly say now that I'm grateful for the journey that He has brought us on. He has really used the experience with having the lots of thousands of dollars of debt to break some of the fear of money that I have, and really bringing me back to reminding me that all of money is His, and He wants to show us how to use our resources well for His glory. And as a result, we were able to pay off that crazy amount with not so crazy salaries in 2.5 years.
Yeah, and in that time, I had a job transition where I was out of work for a couple of months, and we were still able to continue making headway on it. And so I'd say the main reason that we were able to make all that headway is because we really had a plan and were committed to the plan. And just real quickly, a few of the things that were involved in our plan. First of all, we made the decision that was actually a pretty hard decision to continue tithing in the midst of paying off our debt. And we think that was a huge role in helping us in the process. So we continued that. We really worked on our budget, tightened things up, got creative with how we could change the way we grocery shop, don't do as extravagant dates. We did dates at the bookstore to honor John, things like that. And so we could squirrel away a little bit of extra money to be able to put toward that debt. We did the debt snowball, which just involved paying a credit card off, then taking that payment, putting to the next one. Anytime we got any extra money, if I got a bonus or things like that, we put it toward the debt. And then the last thing that was really important for us is we invited a lot of other people in our lives into the process with us, so that we weren't alone in it. Even as a couple, it's easy to feel alone sometimes in our struggles. And so it was really important for us to have some people that were close to us in our lives be a part of that process with us. So we really feel like those things that we put into our plan were hugely beneficial in helping us achieve something that felt really insurmountable when we started out.
And we are 2 years from the end of our credit card debt, and it still feels wonderful. I can honestly say that in the last 2 years I still have struggled with fear of money, but not in the way that I have had it before. And so I am definitely finding myself able to trust the Lord more and more with our resources and with our lives. And it's a great feeling to know that He really is for us and has a plan.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the most significant parts of our story as a couple in our early life together. And one of the huge ways we've seen God interact in our life together and be with us in something, and that has been really huge in helping us continue to trust Him in this area of our lives and our finances, but like Carrie said, also just in our lives in general. And I'm like Carrie, I still struggle all the time with trusting God with our finances. And my struggle isn't as much with fear as it is me feeling like I gotta be the man, and so I want to take somebody out to eat, or I want to do this thing or that thing, and trusting God with that kind of stuff around money for me is what I still struggle with. But we have this story now that we can refer back to with each other to remind ourselves that God really was with us in this, and He'll be with us in whatever we're struggling with now or in the future. So it's been a great journey for us.